Hello, everyone. We are here to talk about how you can build apps with AI. So automating data and UI creation, as well as streamlining your application development lifecycle. Thank you, first and foremost, for being here at 5 o'clock. I know you're probably all itching to get to happy hour, but we're really excited to share the next 20 minutes with you. My name is Maeve Tuntavate. I am a product manager here at Salesforce, and I work in the AI application development space within Platform.
Hi, I'm Brinkal Janani, and I'm product manager for one of your favorite builders, Lightning App Builder. Today, we are excited to share the next bold step that Salesforce is taking towards a more agentic and dynamic user experience.
All right, before we get into the details, a couple housekeeping items. You probably have seen this all over the conference, but we have to remind you that you need to make purchasing decisions based on all of the products that we currently have today, publicly available, not on the amazing things we're going to show you that are coming soon. And then last but not least, before we get into it, please, please, please give us feedback. It's really important to us. It helps us improve our products, and it helps us improve our talks to you and our content here at TDX. So we'd really appreciate it if you scan that QR code and gave us feedback. All right, over to you, Brinkle.
Thanks, Maeve. All right. Before we go into the products or the solution that we wanted to showcase today, we wanted to take a minute and talk about the challenges in general. It should not come as a surprise when I say businesses are overwhelmed. When we talk to businesses, it becomes clear that they want to grow, but they're often challenged by fixed capacity, burnouts, and even labor shortages. Like it's widespread at this point. On the flip side, our customers, they want the same thing and more. They want zero hold time. They want empathetic service. They want personalized engagement. They want to talk to and work with experts. So what are the challenges that's impacting employee productivity and eventually leading to customer dissatisfaction? The number one has been burnout. Employees are asked to do more with tools and processes of yesterday. IT departments are overwhelmed because the business requirements are changing and shifting. The technical landscape is also evolving. And managing existing assets is difficult and costly because you also spend a lot of time debugging issues and errors and spend a significant portion of your IT budget on those issues. Collaboration has best been difficult, and getting actionable insights is an arduous process too. Which is why we decided to focus on improving the day-to-day experiences of your employees to boost productivity. And in the enterprise era landscape, all of us here are super familiar with the structured UI elements such as lists, actions, buttons, etc. Like for years, you and Salesforce admins have relied on popular tools such as Lightning App Builder, Page Layout Editor, and Dynamic Forms to customize your UI. Those tools have been the best on market and are the best on market, but it's also impossible to anticipate the full spectrum of data and workflow requirements for each and every user in your org. So in this agentic era, in this era of agents, there's a dire need of a more dynamic UI that adjusts in real time. Which is why we are super excited to present today Generative Canvas. This is the future of work. Work will happen where you are. The focus will not be on the tooling itself, learning the tool or like dealing with the tool, but it will be more on the jobs to be done. For us at Salesforce, Generative Canvas is the rocket fuel that will power the future of agentic experiences. Now let's think about it. Like with generative AI, which we are super familiar with at this point, it has changed the way we generate code, how we draft content, but it's also heavily influencing how users interact with data and with technology. Now with Generative Canvas, you get a chance to rethink what enterprise apps are and how easy they can be. Because Generative Canvas would empower teams with ready-to-consume insights in a collaborative space. It will adapt to your user's job and task. And on top of that, it's secure and safe because it's built on a platform that you have known to trust over the years. And it's important to note that Generative Canvas is out there right now as preview in Starter and Pro editions. So feel free to try it out and give us feedback. We'll take a look at the demo of Generative Canvas And this demo would be from the lens of Amy, who is a sales representative at a financial business company. Now, Amy is an excellent business associate who handles multiple accounts, just like most of us who do multitasking, right? And she almost spends a lot of time researching and preparing for meetings. But due to time constraints and back-to-back schedules, it becomes impossible for her at times to prepare very curated and personalized pitch for each account, which leads to more generic pitches to potential customers, which doesn't resonate with them. And Amy finds herself in need of customer 360 data to cross-sell and upsell opportunities. So let's take a look at how generative canvas can address some of the challenges that Amy as a sales rep face. What you're looking at on the screen right now is the typical day-to-day schedule of Amy. And this should be super familiar to most of you in the crowd because your schedule looks almost similar or even worse than this, right? Now imagine this. When your meetings are packed back to back, how difficult it is for you guys to prep for that meeting to get the maximum value out of that meeting, right? So it's almost impossible for Amy to curate personalized engagements for each and every conversations that she's going to have with her customers. And so let's click on Generative Canvas, which is a brand new app on the left-hand side bar. It's interesting to note that Generative Canvas has already identified that there are few meetings lined up on the calendar, and Amy would need help preparing for those meetings. So let's click on one of those and get it started. And for the interest of time, we have already prepared the canvas for you, and if you would have clicked on those prompts, you would have seen the canvas generate exactly like it is generated right now. So let's take a look at this. Canvas already identified the top meeting goals for my upcoming meeting. That's great. It identified the important stakeholders. That's perfect. But it also gave me a snapshot of analysis of account opportunities that Amy would be able to leverage to drive her conversation. But this is not enough. Let's ask Canvas to give me an analysis of the competitive landscape which Amy can leverage to drive her conversation even better. And while Maeve is typing that in, you'll notice that there are 3 boxes that are showing up. Those are the prefix prompts. You don't have to use those, but those are at your disposal. And you can interact freely with the prompt like we did and get the response from the canvas. Within seconds, you can see it generated an insight or a very rich analysis of competitive landscape and put that on the canvas for Amy to consume. But why stop here? Let's ask Canvas about the key strengths and weaknesses of this account. Another important thing, Maeve did not specify which account. And that's because this canvas is grounded in an account and it knows the record context that the person interacting with Canvas is dealing with. And just like that, we have a tile that represents strength and weaknesses of the customer, which Amy, as a sales rep, can leverage to have a very personalized engagement with her customers. But this is not it. When all the data is ready, but the UI can also be hyper-personalized. What do I mean by that? Amy can resize the tiles. She can expand those tiles, she can shrink those tiles, and she can even move those tiles around, making sure the layout resonates with how she would like to see and consume information. And once she's done with the meeting, she can always revisit the list of canvases that were pre-created because we persist the canvases. So you don't have to recreate those canvases over and over again and incur that additional LLM cost, right? Everything persists. Or she can choose to create a brand new canvas for her upcoming meeting. With this, it's clear, this would have taken Amy multiple UI hops through multiple tools, multiple pages, and multiple technologies to get the information through various sources. But with Canvas, everything is available in a single place. With Canvas, the focus is shifting away from assembling insights to actually delivering value. And this is how the top competitors of tomorrow will outpace competition. And over to you, Maeve.
Thank you, Brinkle. All right, so that was a pretty awesome demo. It shows how we can use technology like AI to actually build amazing runtime solutions for our customers. But how do we fold that into how you all build and design on Salesforce today? All right, As you all know, many of you are probably builders, designers, developers, admins. Building apps with Salesforce is complex. There are tons of different tools, and it is not an easy process. It takes a lot of time, a lot of clicks. Being able to use AI to make this process easier is something that we're striving towards. So we want to expand on what you saw behind the scenes on Generative Canvas to be able to bring that over into your build time and design time tools to reduce your time to value and help make building applications at Salesforce that much easier. So we have a couple principles that we're going to talk through before we kind of get to the concepts of what we're building. First is agentic planning. When you go through and you're trying to create a new app with Salesforce, you probably meet with your team. You start with an idea or a requirement, and then you go through the ideation process, you go through the design, build, and then test, deploy, and manage. We think that building with agents should mimic that process as well. Agents are able to reason through those requirements really well if created properly, and that's what we're planning to do with AI-powered application development. Second, multimodal and conversational. Actually building out these applications is great, but we need to be able to do it seamlessly through conversation with your agent. So being able to reason through different requirements that you might have, as well as approaches on the solution design, all grounded on Salesforce context and Salesforce knowledge, is really critical to the success of the application. This is going to make sure that the application that AI builds for you is actually curated to what you and your users need. This is all great, but wouldn't it be even better if the agent could actually construct and create all of the metadata that you needed to build that application? We are going to be leveraging AI to actually create this metadata for you, whether that is a flow, whether that are your Lightning app pages, different codes, prompt templates, agents, actions, you name it. We will be able to create this with AI to help jumpstart that building process for you. We know that it's not going to be perfect the first time around, but being able to get that started and reduce that time to value, again, is a key principle of this process. And then last but certainly not least, application development does not end once you deploy your app for the first time. We know that you're going to want to manage that, debug it, test it, but also enhance it. And being able to use the lifecycle management tool of your choice is critical. But even more importantly, you're going to want to be able to track all of those metadata changes throughout the lifecycle of your app within the context of whatever workspace that you're in. And we will be bringing that to you as well. So what might this look like? So here's a sneak peek of some design concepts that our teams are building through right now. So like many agentified experiences, you're going to be able to start with a single utterance. So in this particular case, we're going to create a food delivery service app. It's pretty straightforward. We want to be able to track the drivers, the restaurants, and customer orders for this application. Now, it brings us into this building experience. And behind the scenes, what's happening is our agent is actually identifying the intent based on your utterance, and is starting to generate a list of requirements based on the solutions that it's going to be selecting. So you're going to be able to go back and forth with your agent to make sure that these requirements are refined properly. For example, should this be a new app, or are you trying to build on an existing app? Questions like this are going to help you make sure that what you're building is up to your specs. All right, so we've gotten enough information, and our agent has been able to create us a set of requirements. And this requirements document might look a lot like some templates that you might use today, that you might build with a PRD or your product folks might build for you. But being able to have a description of the application, some key personas and functional requirements is really critical, especially as you're building not in silos, but building with your team. Being able to share what you think you need to build is going to be critical. So you're going to go back and forth, make sure that these requirements are up to your standards so that you're not missing anything, because we all know agents aren't always going to be perfect the first time. And once you're satisfied with the requirements that have been built, you're going to go ahead and plan. You're going to be going through different work items with your agent, and you're going to then enable that agent to generate all of the metadata needed to build that given application. So you'll see here we have a data model on the screen that it's built, an agent, and much, much more. All of this was created by AI on the back end. So no longer do you need to go through the tedious process of creating new fields, new entities, making sure everything lines up. This will all be done for you based on the requirements that you set in the stage before. Even more exciting is that you can actually see all of the metadata associated with your app in a single place. You understand what makes up that application. You can see what's built with AI based on that sparkle there. And then each click into one of those links actually brings you out into a respective builder so that you can see exactly what was created, make edits as you need them, and then refine further. All right. Another really, really cool feature is you're going to be able to preview your application with sample data that was also generated in this process in your sandbox environment. So you can actually visualize what this is going to look like immediately post-creation as your users will. So you can see here, we've created a Lex app page for city catered delivery, and this is a home page. And the same technology that's using to back our runtime solutions with generative canvas is being used here to generate the UI on the fly based on the requirements that you've provided. So you're able to see how this might look like to a user, and then you can go back into the builders and massage things as you need, move things around, and actually curate it to exactly what you need. So we're super excited about this functionality. This is going to be a pilot coming this summer, and we would love, love, love your participation, and we would love to hear feedback if you're able to participate. So we have a call to action to all of you. We would love it if you're interested in this pilot. Please, oh, I love seeing cameras up. Please, please, please take a photo of this QR code. It's a Google form, fill it out. And we will be in touch if we think this is a good match. We're really, really excited about this feature. And with your feedback and participation, we can actually make sure that we build it so that you'll use it. That's the most important thing for us. And then last but not least, a quick plug for all of the booths that we have here in Platform Park. If you haven't visited the demo booths yet, we encourage you to do so. I know it's the end of the day today, but tomorrow as well. There are some really awesome demos at these booths, and they can answer a ton of your questions. So that's about it. And we can take questions off stage. And yeah, really appreciate you all being here, and hope you have a great evening.
Thank you.